While scenic Kittery, Maine is truly a beautiful small town in southern Maine and may seem like a perfect place to call home, there's a few reasons why it may not be perfect for everyone. It's freezing over here, man. It's freezing out here.
It's so cold.
I feel like we should have picked a better time to film these videos than the dead of winter. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 reasons why I would not move to Kittery, Maine, and stay tuned until the end because I'm actually going to talk about why I chose to live here and call Kittery home. Hi, I'm Cam Avery. I'm a Seacoast resident, a local real estate agent, and an investor with the Avery Realty Group and Keller Williams Coastal Realty. And I've lived out on the Seacoast for over 13 years with my family and truly could not imagine living anywhere else. If you are new to our channel, welcome. If you're returning, then welcome back. So glad you're here. This channel is about relocating to Southern Maine and Seacoast, New Hampshire. And so if that's you, consider subscribing and watching our whole series that we have on living on the Seacoast. Also, we're not doing this to become YouTube stars or real estate agent hotshots. We're just local people. Feel free to reach out directly to me. My contact information is right in the description below. We're licensed in both Maine and New Hampshire, and you can call, text, email, and even schedule a one-on-one call at your convenience by clicking the link in the description. So why wouldn't you want to move to Kittery, Maine? Reason number 1, the high cost of living. I know we discussed this in our other video going over the cost of living in Kittery. Make sure you check that out. But Kittery is in general an expensive place to live. It's 18% more expensive than the rest of the country, to be exact, according to Numbeo, which is a website that actually tracks the cost of living around the world. The median home price last year in Kittery was actually $589,000, which is a 26.7% increase year over year. With inflation continuing to rise, Kittery may not be the right place for you if you're on a tight budget and limited income. However, the lower property taxes as compared to New Hampshire and some other surrounding towns does help when it comes to Kittery's overall cost of living. It's also important to note that it's not necessarily significantly more expensive than other towns in the Seacoast. The Seacoast area as a whole is an expensive place to live when you compare it to the rest of the country. Reason number 2 is going to be the harsh winters. If you're not used to winter temperatures, if you're not used to winter weather, Kittery is probably not going to be the right place for you. If you don't like shoveling, if you don't like snow, maybe a snowbird option where you live in Kittery in the summer and go down to Florida in the winter would be better. New England as a whole is seasonal, and so you're going to have very hot summers and cold winters. But for those of us that call this place home, I really don't know if I could imagine living without the seasons. It just keeps things interesting. The beauty of the fall foliage, the nice part of spring, and of course right now when I'm standing outside and it's 32 degrees and I'm absolutely freezing, it's all part of living in Maine. It's all part of living in New England. Finally, the third reason is that Kittery is a small town, and so if you're looking for a larger urban area with an increased population, Kittery only has a population of about 10,000 people, and so if you're not looking for that small town vibe, you probably aren't going to like living in Kittery. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and finding value in it, could you do me a huge favor and just hit the like button? I know it's small, but it really helps me reach more people just like yourself that are thinking about moving to the area. And if you are looking for more information, we've actually completed a complete guide to relocating in Southern Maine and Seacoast, New Hampshire. And in this guide, we really go in depth. We compare the states, Maine and New Hampshire, and we include some really great statistics on each town, including crime rate, population, and school district rating. We put a ton of work into this so you wouldn't have to. You can actually just download it just by going right in the description below and clicking on the link. Our goal here is to provide you with everything that you need to make an informed decision about moving to the area. So then why do I live here? I actually grew up in New Hampshire near the Manchester area and moved out to the Seacoast about 13 years ago. And honestly, when I got here, I was blown away by the community, by the beauty of being so close to the ocean, and just that perfect mixture of being close to major cities, but still having a really small town feeling. My family always used to vacation in Maine, and you know, whenever we would drive over that bridge, we would always shout, yeah. And I don't know if subconsciously that got ingrained in me, as Maine was this great place where everything was amazing, but there's just something about driving across that bridge and being in Kittery and being in Maine that I truly love. You know, Kittery itself is an amazing town. We have passes to Fort Foster. I love going to Sea Point Beach. And so, you know, the things that are negative that we talked about, the small town, I love the small town feeling. You know, in the harsh winters, growing up in New England here, it's really nothing new to me. Of course, if I could do without snow, I would. But the seasonality of New England, where you have the spring, where you have the summer, where you have the winter, I truly love all of it. You know, I really could not imagine living anywhere else. So in conclusion, Kittery may not be the perfect town, and it certainly has its drawbacks, including the high cost of living and harsh winters. But for me, Kittery is the perfect place to live, and it's where I choose to call home.